Alright guys, welcome back to our show. Today we have a special guest, Renaud. He's from Dubai and he's going to introduce his new MANTAFOILs to us. Welcome to the show, Renaud.
Thank you. Welcome to our, you can see behind me some products which are our new lineup of the Volt 3. Just a quick brief about myself. I'm doing efoil for the past 4 years, but I've been foiling for almost 19 years. I did my first foil in 2003, so I'm a very old foiler. I've been producing foils for other brands and for my brand later on since 2012 commercially. And when I saw the efoil wave coming up, I didn't take it seriously at the beginning. I was more focused on my other, let's say, wind-powered foils. And then 4 years ago I said, okay, let's look at it and let's a bit more look in details. We did first prototypes, then 2 years ago came with the first foil, and then last year second foil, and this year in Jan we introduced the Volt 3, which is the third generation of our foil. And we always work ahead, so basically we are even already working on the next year as we speak. We already have working prototypes of next year model, so we are always ahead in that forward motion. That's more or less about us in general.
Yeah.
So we are based in Dubai. So we are based in Dubai. I live in Dubai. I have several businesses here. Foiling is one of them, and so we do produce in Dubai also, and we are a design team, electronic team in Dubai.
Yeah, it's quite a nice place. Yeah, really hot right now.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice place to foil. But you shipping it internationally, right?
Yes, we ship internationally since last year. We didn't do it in the first year. Last year we started to sell a little bit in Europe. We didn't ship yet to USA. That is a market we will address probably this year or next year. We are working on that. As you know, the market is a bit different there, and there is certain patents and so on, discussion about that. Many things are happening there. So we are first focusing on our, let's say, own markets, and then we'll address this market probably very soon.
Very good. All right, let's dive deep into the product itself. First, starting as usual with characteristics, the speed, the riding time, the charging time, just the basics.
Cool. So yeah, the Volt 3 is quite advanced in that sense, at least in terms of flight time. That was our main focus on the development of the foils. From the first to this generation, we always focus on the flight time. So we designed our battery 3 years ago, which is a 50 ampere-hour battery, fully waterproof, obviously. From the beginning, we decided to design the battery with Bluetooth connectivity. I saw some other big brands came with it a bit last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken, not to name them. And we did that from the beginning because we always understood that, you know, there is issue with the power data connectors, with the water, so we try to minimize it. So we have a mobile application. We can access the battery and monitor the status. So this is for the general characteristic of the battery. 50 ampere-hour on our foil. Let's say on the Volt 2 last year was giving us, let's say, about 90 minutes. On this one, we improved the engine a little bit, gain in terms of efficiency, and we are, let's say, we say 120 minutes officially. In reality, the actual flight log we did, and we didn't do it again, we did just one time to the maximum performance. We were at 1 hour 55 minutes flight time, like from takeoff to landing, without battery, flat. So yeah, that was a continuous flight, and that flight was 39.7 kilometers, almost 40 kilometers. And that's what we advertise. We say 40 kilometers. So we are very close to the actual specs of what we say. Those specs have been done with a high aspect wing. We have 2 wings in the range. As a MANTAFOIL, we have many wings actually as a brand, but for the efoil specifically, we only use a few of them. because we think that they are more dedicated and more matching with the dynamics of efoil. And I will present the wings later. So yeah, the high aspect wing gives us a long flight time. We gain about 15% autonomy with this wing because it is much more efficient, but it's more difficult to ride. In terms of speed, typically we can reach about 40 km/h. I would say with that's the capability of the foil. It could go a bit faster, but we electronically limit it with the power of the speed controller, so that the engine stays safe and within the temperature range and that we want. Something about temperature, by the way, since we are in Dubai, we ride the foils even in summertime, all the time in development. Here the temperature of the water in summertime can reach up to 36 degrees, so it's quite boiling, and outside temperature at that time is like 45 plus, you know, so, and we are still riding for hours. So this is in this environment that we develop the foil, these very extreme conditions, with also very high salt in the water. So that also gives you a good idea of, let's say, how to which extent, let's say, we are pushing the mechanics. In terms of flight range, as I said, is 40 km. The weight of the items, I think this is also something interesting. I would say people usually ask me whether the carbon or the inflatable is lighter. They're actually more or less the same, because the inflatable material is fairly light somehow, and the carbon one needs to be quite rigid and quite reinforced around the fin, the mast, sorry. So it's obviously also quite similar weight, I would say. If we talk about weight, I would say the battery is about 14-15 kilo, approximately, and the board within the range of 9 to 10 kilo. A total element assembled, we are around the 30 something, 32, 31, 33, depends on the model, size, and so on. Behind us we have the 145 here, which is fitted with the foil. We'll go in details a bit more after. We have a 95 liter carbon and a 65 liter carbon. There is also a 110 inflatable, which is, I would say, pretty similar in shape, just slightly smaller volume. This one is the bigger one, let's say.
Alright, let's see some details, starting with the battery. Maybe you can show us how you put the battery in and how it looks.
Yeah.
So here is the battery. So the battery has two connectors, which are here. They are the Amphenol connectors, waterproof. And as you see, there is no other data cable. The battery is fairly light, I mean, and also strong. It's quite... And the way we insert it, we place it inside, and then it's self-lock. Put it on the camera. Okay. So you have the battery sitting inside the foil right now. The power is connected here. We have a data cable. Something about the data cable. As I said before, for the battery, the data cable is for the receiver, sorry. And as I said for the battery before, sometimes, you know, with the customers opening and closing the cables, there is salt water coming in the cables, in the connectors, and they can get damaged. So we went around that because we made a multiple connection here. So we have one cable which is always on the foil, and then we have a connection just right there. I'm not sure it's visible on the camera, but there is a connection and another intermediate cable that acts as a kind of fuse, let's say. So if you then get water in, you just need to change these cables, and your foil is good to go. You don't need to open the foil head and change the connector and all this headache. So it's very easy to fix the foil in case there is a problem of corrosion. That can happen obviously when you have the normal use. People open and close, and yeah, that's part of the game. The battery is secured at the back with two special washers that basically the battery slots into. And at the front there is a screw. There is a screw system that basically catch the handle. I will open it so that you can see it. So there is a screw system that we just put in the handle of the battery, and it secures the battery in position. So even if you open the cover and falls, the battery will stay inside, whatever happens. I'm just locking it back. When it's open, when the board is open, the efoil is not active. we have a magnet here which is on the cover, and when we close that cover, then the battery becomes active and start to power on the system. The receiver on the inflatable board is within the compartment, so actually this part is a plastic injection part where the battery sits and the foil is fixed too. It has a reinforcement from the back. I will turn the board after, you will see it. It has a kind of fiberglass plate that makes it more stiff, also for the foil to be more directive when we control the board. And the receiver is here. On the carbon board, the receiver are placed on top of the board. It's not there on this one because this board is not assembled yet with the receiver, but this is the location the receiver goes. Yeah, so if I close this foil like this, it's closed, so now it's active. If I take the remote, by the way, this is the new remote that is going to be released. I would say you're kind of exclusive to see it for the first time. So now the remote is connected. It shows me locked, means it's not looking for any receiver, it's been already paired. And if I engage it, the engine will start to turn.
Very good. Can you show us closer the remote and its features? I see it has color screen, yeah?
So basically this is the remote. You have basically different menus, 3 pages. So one for show you on the first page, you have on top you have the battery of your foil, the battery of your remote. So from here it's 57% of the battery inside my foil currently. It says it's locked. There is no GPS, we are indoors, so it's not connecting to the GPS. If it would, then that message will not show. It shows your max speed below. Then you have this screen below here, this which is in red zone currently, is my remaining flight time, but this is fully configurable. The user can configure all these screens within the remote. I can show you another page that shows you an example. So for example here, this menu are a bit smaller, and I'm showing here for example flight time elapsed, kilometer elapsed, remaining minute, remaining kilometers. And then I made another page where I have my power, my efficiency, my current of the motor. I'm engineer, so I like to see what's going on inside. The temperature of the foil, and eventually the RPM. But all these screens can be configured, so we can choose whatever data we want in different size. So we have it in big size like in the front screen, or in small size, and all these can be combined. So we just go in the menu of the remote, and the user can basically configure his own displays the way he wants, with the big data, big numbers as he wants them, and the small one which are not so important also as he wants. So it's basically quite user friendly in that sense, it's, as you know, when you ride, it's difficult to see the screen. So this one is a sun readable screen, so it's color screen, and even the metrics will change the color based on their status. Let's say, for example, if you have only, I don't know, 20% battery, it will become red. If you are between 20 and 40%, maybe you are yellow. And if you are, let's say, above that, you are green, means you are good. And similar for other metrics. Let's say if, let's say the power is above, I don't know, 4,000 watts, then becomes red. Let's say if it's like between, I don't know, 2,000 watt and 4,000 watt, it's yellow, and so on and so on. So you have a color coding, you have displays. There is a GPS speed, of course, that appears in big when you ride, so it will appear as the full white zone here, which is quite visible when you ride. You know, it's the big focus. Another thing is there is a data logging. So as you ride, all these data are captured, actually more than what you really need as an end user, but we are capturing a lot of data. And those data can be used on your mobile application. The mobile application is going to be ready soon. We have a demo one, which is for us developers, but not really for public. And you will be able to see your logs on the Google Maps, to see the different parkour you did, upload the firmware to update the firmware of your system, the usual stuff, I would say. Something we are also planning to add, which is in the work, is a geofencing feature. So basically with your mobile application, you will be able to drag on the map your fingers to select a zone where the foil should evolve. And let's say if it goes beyond this zone, the foil power will reduce to, I don't know, 10%. whatever it is. And this way, if you give lesson and you don't want people to go too far and go in zones that are not really safe, you can also restrict these locations. And there is many other features. I'm not talking about all of them, but there is plenty of features like that. Since it's software based, we can do a lot of things. All the hardware on those foils are developed by us. It's something quite important. We don't buy things from outside. The current remote that we are using it was an OEM remote, but now everything is done by our own motors, own remotes, on everything. The boards, the injection parts, everything is done by our own.
Very good. So you have a lot of cool features here, and let's talk about one of your coolest features is a very unusual stabilizer. You have stabilizer there that prevents breaching. Tell us more about this and maybe you can show it closer.
So the stabilizer is a new design, but you cannot find it really in the market yet. We spent quite a lot of time on it. To be fair, this design we've been riding with it for the past now 1.5 years. So actually last year when we introduced the Volt 2, the last year model, we already were riding this model. As I said, we are always running 1 year ahead on what we release. So the idea of this stabilizer is, first of all, so far we have not decided to go into the open propeller business, let's say. We will probably do it later, maybe next year, we will see. Mainly because we are a bit concerned by the safety and we are still assessing, let's say, how we feel about it. So we are not really fully decided on that one. So we always wanted to keep the prop guard here, so that protect the people. The idea was to integrate the stabilizer to reduce, let's say, the parts and also increase the stability. So this design of stabilizer gives high stability. It has basically two kinds of stabilizer with an infinite wing. So there is no trailing, there is no tips basically. So there is a bit of interference between the two wings, but the overall drag is very minimal. As I said, if we fly 2 hours with this foil, then definitely the drag is very low. I had this comment on internet, that's why I'm mentioning about it. Also, it's very rigid. So because it's not just a single wing that can flex, there is 2 wings. So there is and they are not exactly parallel. So they are a bit like this, trapezoidal. So that gives a very good rigidity to the wings. And you can really feel that in ride sensation is very direct, it's and very locked. This foil is more dedicated to people who want to cruise, let's say, and obviously they can turn, but not to people who want to do, let's say, sharp turning, aggressive turns, because this is not a surfing foil as a design. It's more cruising foil, I would say, on the overall philosophy of the foil. Obviously, I do turn very sharp. I can turn in a 5-meter radius, right? So this is quite sharp, but still, it's not something that you would just turn super sharp, super aggressive, and then opposite. This is not designed for that. It's more designed for high stability. The pitch stability is very high. If you compare to most of the foil you can find in the market, you will notice it's very stable when you ride. And that's the big comment that people tell us when they try the foil. They say, wow, it's so stable. So, and though the fuselage is quite short. What else to talk about it? I actually posted a video recently. Probably some people saw it on internet, on our MANTAFOILS Instagram. One key feature of this stabilizer is we can breach out of the water easily and recover. So basically, when the propeller will come out of the water, you start to hear the noise, obviously, of the splash of the water and the water bubbles. And with most of the foils, you will tip down and fall forward, and that can be dangerous, obviously. With this one, unless if you go really step with a step angle, if you go quite parallel to the normal going up, because you're not really focused on your altitude, you will start to hear the noise of the propeller, and you just like this water noise, and then the foil will slightly pitch down and then recover immediately its angle. And there is videos on internet I posted on that. We did some, I was filming one of our customers who is, let's say, on his maybe 3rd or 4th session on our foil, and you can see that he was trying on purpose to go breaching and going back, breaching, coming back, and you see it's not falling. It's like quite good.
Alright, Renaud, a lot of cool features, and my final question as always is post-sale service and support and guarantees. What kind of servicing are you offering? Do you plan to have like a service centers around Europe in case people need to fix something in the board or replace the components?
Yeah, actually we do have already some people in Europe doing the servicing. We have some people in Germany and in France right now. We have also dealers that are selling the products in more countries than that, but the servicing is done in these two countries right now. And obviously in UAE for other markets. Yeah, and this is where for the warranty we are currently on a 1-year warranty with the product, 300 charge for the battery, whichever comes first, but the warranty covers the full foil obviously. There is an option to get also a 2 years warranty. It's just an option, a payable option.
Alright, so very good. I'm very excited to see all the new features you have here, and it's not like just another copy of efoil, it's very original, a lot of cool features you introduced, which is really interesting. I think the community will be very interested in this product as well, so I'm wishing you great sales and successful summer, and I look forward to try it one day myself, maybe when I go to Dubai or you happen to be in Portugal. Maybe we can do some test run.
I'm actually going to Greece this summer, so maybe some great customer will see me around playing with the new foils. Look for it in the water. Yeah, no, we have foils in France, so probably you will have opportunity to try it in Portugal. Maybe our French people will move on and give you the opportunity. Yes, definitely. And you're welcome anytime in Dubai anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you again so much for the show. It was very good. Thank you so much, Renaud.